Assalamu alaikum fam, hope you're doing well. So we're continuing our deep dive into the constitution of the Jesuits, and this is important for people who seek to have, knowledge on other faiths, different orders, and to have an accurate understanding instead of just believing what people say, reading it for ourselves and knowing what the differences are. Okay? This is chapter 4, right? This had to do with some things that the candidates have to go through. One of them is that he says here, the first men who joined the order wanted people who joined the society to already be detached from the world. They should be determined to serve God totally. So the detachment element is found a lot in Buddhism. Now we see here in the Jesuit order, they also have that as well. And it says here also, before one seeks admission into any house or college, one's goods of the temporary nature must have been renounced of and disposed. So they make it very clear here that you have to get rid of your possessions. Okay? Pretty good rule that they have. And then you also have to pay off your debts. I found that very intriguing. So they really want you to get rid of your debt, and I believe this is so that no one can have an obligation over you, and they really want you to give your goods to people other than your family, to give it to the poor, essentially. And then you should distribute things like your money and other objects, obviously he says, amongst the pious and for holy causes. And that you need to be fully removed from the hope of ever possessing your former or future possessions. So materialism stomped out completely. Not only are you going to give up your stuff, but you better fully break that grasp of materialism that it holds on you. And you have a time range of a year to fulfill that order of giving up all your material items. And then it says also here that there is an evangelical council to give to the poor and not one's relatives. So their council members have decided where those objects should be given. And then they need to also persevere in their vocation with firmness and stability. So I thought that language was pretty interesting. Another cool point here that they have for us is that if one has a poor family member who are in need of the goods, judgment should be sought from wise superiors for the final decision. So, if you have someone in your family who needs this, and you feel like, you want to give it to them first, well, you have to get your superior's permission, and they're going to investigate into that. So, if your family is already wealthy, you ain't supposed to give them your inheritances in that way. And it says that also here, after entering into the house, or, one cannot keep money or have it in his possession. No friend can hold money for you outside of the order. So you cannot be sneaking in stacks of cash to hide there, still grasping to the outside world. They really want you to be very humble in means. The extravagant nature has to be fully overcome. That's what I really get from this. They can donate money for the pious works or give it to someone who has the duty in the house for keeping. So there is someone who works in one of the houses or the colleges who can help you hold on to that and dispose it in a manner that's fitting. And he also contends that candidates must be asked if they are content to dispose of their money in the approved manner. So there's a lot of questioning of, are you content? Are you happy with this? They don't want you to have resentment. Part of this heavy, introduction process is to really get the right candidates in their orders. They don't want, some runaway drug addict who did some horrible, Wall Street betting and is trying to, have a great awakening, or some rich kid's son who thinks this is like a playground or to be his rehab. No, it's not that. And it also says here, if a candidate is dismissed and has gave something to the society, it is to be returned to him. So I found that also quite interesting, is that they will give you some of your stuff back, but other things that you gave away, you were supposed to have let that go, and you're not supposed to seek it. So I really found that quite interesting. It mentioned that earlier as well. You have to be fully ready to let go of materialism. So, quite nerdy. What do you think?